How are you?
Good to Is your munchkin sound asleep?
Yes, thank goodness.
Oh, nice. That is a victory.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
It's hard to run them out with all, you know what I mean?
I know. I'm like, I almost would rather have a kid who's not in preschool or school right now, though, because like,
I know.
Mine's in preschool, so it's not 100% necessary, but like she's learning, so I feel like obligated to throw some school in there.
Yeah.
To educate. So
but
you know,
right. I'm so glad I don't have to teach school right now.
I know. All you have to do is peekaboo 5,000 times a day and sensory bins. And
that's right. And make them be in rap videos. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Very important.
Very important.
That is
for his future career.
You're contributing to society.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited about this.
Me too. I actually put on makeup for the first time.
You did?
Yes. I was like, oh, hello. I can't show up for the crowd looking like how I've been looking.
That is a very special occasion. So
that is
so very special.
Good. Yes.
Thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
Of course. Of course. I'm so excited because so many actors, I didn't realize, I guess, how many actors are like thirsty for the VO world. I mean, I guess I kind of knew that, but there's, it's not my, obviously, day to day. So it's just really interesting to hear from you and hear your background. And I know, first and foremost, you're a wonderful actress. And that's how I know you. But I am so excited to hear about all your adventures in VO and Miraculous and all of that fun stuff. So how long ago did you start really getting into that?
Yeah, so my background and story is kind of interesting and like a little weird. Basically, it started in college. I went to Irvine. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so down there was just this random recording studio, and I had a million jobs in college, like to put myself through college.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So one of my million jobs was teaching singing because I was a musical theater major.
That's right. You're a singer.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a singer. So I started teaching voice at this music school. And one of my students owned this recording studio, and he just wanted to learn how to sing. So I was teaching him, and he's like, you should really come and record some stuff for us. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means, but whatever, So he had me doing anime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and dubbing. So dubbing, I don't know, and if anybody else has done this in the audience or is interested in doing it, it's funny because you don't get paid as much as regular voiceover work, but it's way harder. Like you have to basically, because you're matching what's called the flap of the mouth. And depending on the language that you're dubbing over, like I was doing all Japanese anime, so it was super tricky, and you have to, and basically you're getting your lines across the screen as you're watching the cartoon, watching the flap. So it's not like you prepare, you just show up.
Right.
Just like watching, it's like you have to multitask at the same time. But so anyway, that was really my first foray into, is that the word?
That's right.
Into voiceover. Yeah. And then I did through them, I was the voice of Thumbelina at the San Diego Zoo.
No way!
Yeah. So that was fun. And I did commercials through that studio and all kinds of stuff. So by the time I got done, I was in these two animes, I was the lead, which if you're, I see some people saying they're anime fans. If you're anime fans, if you ever watched 10 Tokyo Warriors, this was literally 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
But 10 Tokyo Warriors and Gun Parade March, I was the lead, one of the leads in those.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So it was great. So I had huge amount of material.
Yeah.
So when I moved to LA, I had a friend who helped me put together a reel for animation. And then I could get more into this too about how and who to go to. Then I put a commercial reel too. So for voiceover, you really need both. You need
that was what I was going to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, you need commercial animation. And we could go into all that and all that, the details. But But so I did that, and I signed with this agency, Independent Artists, which is not around anymore.
I used to work
you
for
remember
them
that?
way back when.
Stop it.
In the voiceover department.
Yeah.
I wonder if we actually interacted. This was like 2009.
Okay, so I had probably left by then because I was with them 2003 to 2000, probably 6 or 7.
Yeah.
That is so.
I was in the VO department.
And it was crazy.
Yeah,
right?
it was. That's what it was so
interesting.
interesting. I mean, and that was a long, you know, I mean, it was a long, it wasn't eons ago, but it was like a substantial time ago. And there was so much material, like seeing all the breakdowns from that perspective come, I can't imagine how much more there is now.
I know.
Even then.
Well,
you know?
Exactly, because back then we used to not be able to record at home. Like very few people could record at home.
Right.
You know?
A lot of people were still coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was always there. I had a very, so not to talk bad, but they don't exist anymore. So
was it Bethany?
Beverly, right?
Beverly Klein.
Beverly Klein. Yes. So I had a very interesting experience with them, and I booked a couple things, and like the day, like it took forever to book something. And when I finally did, all of a sudden they like dropped me. And I was like, what? I just booked, like, it was very strange. And so
I had nothing to do with that.
No, before your time. Exactly. I think that looking back, I understand now, because they were, not to be like, oh, they were on the, but it was just a totally changing industry.
Oops. I was curious how those worked. Hey guys. Just waiting for Selah to join, so here she is. Let's do... Hi! Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is your munchkin sound asleep?
Yes, thank goodness.
Oh, nice. That is a victory.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
It's hard to run them out with all, you know what I mean?
I know. I'm like, I almost would rather have a kid who's not in preschool or school right now, though, because like,
I know.
Mine's in preschool, so it's not 100% necessary, but like she's learning, so I feel like obligated to throw some school
educate.
In there.
Yeah.
To educate. So
but
you know,
right. I'm so glad I don't have to teach school. Right?
I know. All you have to do is peekaboo 5,000 times a day and sensory bins. And
that's right. And make them be in rap videos. I don't know.
Oh yes, very important.
Very important.
That is
for his future career.
You're contributing to society.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited about this.
Me too. I actually put on makeup for the first time.
You did?
Yes. I was like, oh, hello. I can't show up for the crowd looking like how I've been looking.
That is a very special occasion. So
that is
so very special.
Good. Yes.
Thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm so excited because so many actors, I didn't realize, I guess, how many actors are like thirsty for the VO world. I mean, I guess I kind of knew that, but there's, it's not my, obviously, day to day. So it's just really interesting to hear from you and hear your background. And I know, first and foremost, you're a wonderful actress. And that's how I know you. But I am so excited to hear about all your adventures in VO and Miraculous and all of that fun stuff. So how long ago did you start really getting into that?
Yeah, so my background and story is kind of interesting and like a little weird. Basically, it started in college. I went to Irvine. Yeah. And so down there was just this random recording studio, and I had a million jobs in college, like to put myself through college.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So one of my million jobs was teaching singing because I was a musical theater major.
That's right. You're a singer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a singer. So I started teaching voice at this music school. And one of my students owned this recording studio, and he just wanted to learn how to sing. So I was teaching him, and he's like, you should really come and record some stuff for us. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means, but whatever, So he had me doing anime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and dubbing. So dubbing, I don't know, and if anybody else has done this in the audience or is interested in doing it, it's funny because you don't get paid as much as regular voiceover work, but it's way harder. Like you have to basically, because you're matching what's called the flap of the mouth. And depending on the language that you're dubbing over, like I was doing all Japanese anime, so it was super tricky, and you have to, and basically you're getting your lines across the screen as you're watching the cartoon, watching the flap. So it's not like you prepare, you just show up. Right. Just like watching, it's like you have to multitask at the same time. But so anyway, that was really my first foray into, is that the word?
That's right.
Into voiceover. Yeah. And then I did through them, I was the voice of Thumbelina at the San Diego Zoo.
No way!
Yeah. So that was fun.
That's fun.
And I did commercials through that studio and all kinds of stuff. So by the time I got done, I was in these two animes, I was the lead, which if you're, I see some people saying they're anime fans. If you're anime fans, if you ever watched 10 Tokyo Warriors, this was literally 20 years ago now. Yeah. But 10 Tokyo Warriors and Gun Parade March, I was the lead, one of the leads in those.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So it was great. So I had huge amount of material.
Yeah.
So when I moved to LA, I had a friend who helped me put together a reel for animation. And then I could get more into this too about how and who to go to. Then I put together a commercial reel too. So for voiceover, you really need both. You need
that was what I was going to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, you need commercial animation. And we could go into all that and all that, the details. But so I did that, and I signed with this agency, Independent Artists, which is not around anymore.
I used to work for them
that?
way back when.
Stop it.
In the voiceover department.
Yeah.
I wonder if we actually interacted. This was 2009.
Okay, so I had probably left by then because I was with them 2003 to 2000, probably 6 or 7.
Yeah.
That is so.
I was in the VO department.
And it was crazy.
Yeah, right? That's what it was so interesting. I mean, and that was a long, it wasn't eons ago, but it was a substantial time ago. And there was so much material, seeing all the breakdowns from that perspective I can't imagine how much more there is now.
I know.
Even then.
Well, exactly, because back then we used to not be able to record at home. Very few people could record at home.
Right. A lot of people were still coming in,
Yeah, so I was always there. I had a so not to talk bad, but they don't exist anymore. So
was it Bethany?
Beverly, right?
Beverly Klein.
Beverly Klein, yes. So I had a very interesting experience with them, and I booked a couple things, and the day, it took forever to book something. And when I finally did, all of a sudden they dropped me. And I was like, what? I just booked, it was very strange. And so
I had nothing to do with that.
No, before your time. Exactly. I think so looking back, I understand now because they were, not to be they were on the, but it was just a totally changing industry.
Yeah.
And they were concentrating more on their celebrity clients, which I totally get.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So I think they were just we got to clean up this roster.
Yeah.
And I understand the business side more, but at the time I was so young and I'm like, what? I just booked this huge commercial.
That's a jarring thing. That's a really jarring thing to be dropped by that's and that's a topic for a whole nother day, but there's but anyway.
Yeah. So exactly though. It was jarring. So I was like, I'm done. I quit VO. I'm so dramatic. I don't know. But also, and we could talk about this too, I feel like a lot of, with theatrical, you have little wins along the way. But with voiceover, it will be dead silent forever. And you'll just audition. And because you're not like, again, with theatrical, you're going into the room, you're seeing the cast. You're kind of getting that feedback.
There's context,
Yes. And with voiceover, it's like radio silence.
Right.
And your agents will be like, oh, yeah, it was great. But you're like, so after that happened, I was like, well, clearly I've only booked 2 jobs in, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Not meant to be. Like,
can I ask you a really quick question before I forget? Because I feel like I'm going to forget. When you're doing these VO auditions, are you doing them mostly from home? And I know we'll talk into that. And there's no direction, right?
Yeah.
So
no.
Yeah, it's all just on you.
But even so I'm with WME now, and I do most from home because of Ezra, because of my son.
Yeah.
But before I had him, I would try to go in most of the time to make that FaceTime.
And they would give you direction then?
But that's what I was going to say. Even then, some booth operators will, and they're like, you love when you get them, they're helping you.
Yeah.
Others are like, oh, that was great. And they maybe just think it was great.
Yeah.
But you kind of feel like, are you sure?
Yeah, right. Interesting.
So, yeah, it just depends on who you get. But it is kind of nice to go in if you have that option, if you have an agency, just because they will not only direct, but they edit it in a way that's a little bit. At home, it's just a little more work. Not a lot more, but it's a little more work.
I would assume, and this is different from self-taping in general, but I would assume with voiceover work, you want to send in at least 2 contrasting options.
So, okay, I've heard various theories about that. Some people say yes, some people say no, because they think that, like, you don't want to give them a reason not to like your voice, basically.
Right.
But I know, I think it depends. Sometimes just for time, like if it's 5 pages of material, I'm like, you're getting 1 take,
Right. Same with commercial though, like you would just do.
No, that's a good point. Yes, commercial, you could you do 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But depending, there was this one commercial recently that was like 3 pages long. I'm like,
wow,
why do you need 3 pages of me saying this?
Wow.
I know, but that's very rare. You're right.
Okay.
Like, with commercial, it's 3 in a row.
Yeah.
You do 3 different and then send it in. But yeah, animation, some people think don't, some people do.
And that makes sense. Yeah.
Like,
okay. So then, sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't forget that. Going back, so then you,
oh yeah. So I got dropped. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to even try to get another agent. This is stupid. And then flash forward to, I think it was like 2009 or 10. I had this friend just randomly working on a cartoon series that was dubbing. And I was like, oh, I did a lot of dubbing. Here's my reel. If you think, she was writing on it. So usually it's kind of like TV. Writers can't really help you that much. Like, maybe they can get you in the room, but she somehow got it to the director, and he brought me into the audition, and I got it. And that director, his name's Ezra, like my son, Ezra Weiss, if you're listening. He brought me in for Miraculous Ladybug.
Okay.
Like a year or 2 later. And then I booked that. Okay. And since then he's brought me in for other things.
So that's been a while now then.
Yeah, since we've worked together.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Miraculous started, Miraculous fans, when did it first start? They know more than I do. I'm like, are you there? Tell me when it first started.
Yeah.
I think it was 2000, I want to say like 14 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
but
awesome.
Yeah, it was a while since that first job though.
Okay.
Come to think of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a few years.
But
so I had basically quit, and then
2015 they said.
Thank you. Yeah. I thought that was so. We started recording in 2014. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah. Oh, so I was right.
Fact checking.
Was close to it. But yeah, and then after that, I did sign with. Oh, I got hip pocketed by another agency. Now I can't remember which one. And for whatever reason. Oh, maybe they just had too many voices. I don't know. I wasn't getting out a lot, and I just was like feeling like it wasn't working. And then out of the blue, my friend, this was probably 2 years ago now, said, you should send your reel, send me your reel. I'll send it to my agent at WME. So I did, and I came in and met with them. Oh, this is what it was. That other agency would only send me out commercially.
Oh.
I know, which was, by the way, same with independent artists. They would not send me out with animation.
I never saw, like we never had people come in for animation. I don't know why.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know why.
No, it wasn't just me.
So
yeah.
the insiders, it wasn't just you.
Oh, yeah, that's good to
Yeah.
know, because I was
Yeah.
like, and same with the other agency I was at before WME. So then I was like, well, I'm okay with commercials. I've booked a few, but my voice is very specific.
Yeah.
Like, it's not very, I don't know, like you want that neutral tone.
Yeah, but
you
it's
know?
really good to know your voice, right?
Yes.
And know what your strengths are.
That's right.
That's kind of a little bit, and you tell me if you think differently, but a little bit different from thinking yourself as an actor. And I sort of like to encourage actors to try to market themselves as having a large range instead of, you know, putting themselves into a box. But with voiceover, you kind of want to be a little more specific.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Definitely. I think, and you know, and it's similar to on camera in like the commercial world. Like you want to make sure you're that mom or you're
right,
you know, whatever.
Correct. Yeah,
but with you're right. With theatrical, you could totally get away with like I play moms and strippers.
Yeah.
So you know, wide range.
Or stripper moms.
Or stripper moms.
Yeah.
That's right. I haven't played that. Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll
like,
look out for it.
Hello. Yeah, look out for that breakdown. Stripper mom. But yeah, so I think you're so right. I think with voiceover, you really have to know your voice, know your type. There's only so much. I can change my voice a little. Like I have my reel can show my range or whatever. But like there's very few voiceover artists. Just like there's very few Meryl Streep. You know, like who have that entire range in their voice.
Right. I know.
Anything.
Yeah.
There's one guy, he's probably listening, Jose. If you know Jose Villarreal, I just cast him in this voiceover project I was producing, and I'm like, who are you? He can sound like anything.
Wow.
That's very few, you know?
Yeah, I know. I've heard some reels like that, and they're pretty amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So,
it's so fascinating.
It is. But
yeah.
Oh, anyway, I met with WME, and that was the first time they were like, we really see you as animation. We're going to get you out. Like, yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So they
That's
got
awesome.
me.
Yay.
Yeah.
So then in that sense, you really want to have two different reels, right? An animation reel and a commercial reel.
Yeah.
Again, I don't cast a lot of VO work, but from my perspective, if I'm working on a commercial project, I want to be able to just listen to that commercial reel. And if I'm working on an animation, I want to just be able to. So that's the only time that I would sort of separate. Is there anything else that you would Some
people have video game reels now.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. If you have like that many video game bookings, you know, like I have a friend who books every video. I mean, she has 3 different reels. She might even have 4 for like comedy animation and drama, drama, but like adult animation, you know. But
what are your thoughts on, you know, a lot of actors wanting to get into VO haven't booked anything? And again, I have thoughts on this in the on-camera terms of putting just some great scenes on tape, which I'm okay with. Yeah. I would assume that would be okay with VO too.
Yeah. Well, so VO, the reel is really your calling card. Yeah. And that you're absolutely right. The scenes are all from established commercials or shows. The person who puts together your reel will help you, or they'll do it for you. They'll pick sides and material for you to do from established shows, and then you make it your own. You don't do it, you know, whatever. Right. Yeah. So that's where that comes in. But I know VO is hard because you can't really. Well, okay, I'm gonna like contradict myself. It's not like you could be like, I'm just gonna produce, you know, an animated series. You can, but it's super hard. It's not like you could produce a web series kind of easily these days. You know?
Well, animation is like, you have to know animation, which is
like how
really hard.
I know. But now, okay, so this is where I was going to contradict myself. I just produced my first voiceover project, which was an audio drama.
Oh, cool.
So, I don't know if you've listened to any, like Limetown and all these other.
You mean similar to, like
what was the other one that was really popular? Homecoming. Yeah. That
that's
one.
Awesome.
Yeah. So my friend approached me and was like, I wrote a script. there's no way I'll ever get this produced because it's a studio movie, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, so I'm going to try to put it into an audio drama. Can you produce it and act in it? And I was like, yes, I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was super cool. So now now that audio dramas are becoming more of a thing,
Yeah.
if you're finding that you're not booking and not getting yourself out there, I think there's a way that you can extrovert your talent.
Right.
Get yourself.
Things like putting, self-submitting to student films to get that footage to make your reel. That's a really great idea.
Yeah, and this was new to me, so because I used to be like, well, how could I show people that I could do it, or whatever.
Right.
But there's also, I think, people doing, like, I just saw Jose, my voiceover friend, he put together something for quarantine, like you draw a picture and he voiced it and put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so social media is a great way. Somebody was saying, what do you mean audio drama? Like a podcast that's scripted.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, he put together like this thing for Instagram that was like, you draw, I voice it. So I think just being creative and finding a way to show people your voice and how you can get it out there.
Mm-hmm. Someone just asked, how would you self-submit yourself for an audio drama like that? So when you're producing that, where are you looking for? Yeah.
So I ended up just casting it with all the people I know, but that's a good question. I would probably say Actors Access or LA Casting.
Yeah.
If somebody was, there's no special breakdowns. Well, that I know your side knows of the special breakdowns, but the actors
yes.
Yeah.
I don't cast. In the event that we ever have to hire a VO actor, it's happened to me once in the professional world, where we had to cast JFK's voice. I don't know if Erica's watching, but she'll remember that. That was really fun. It was we had to cast his voice saying something specific for 11/22/63 because it was about the JFK assassination, and we needed someone to do a JFK voice. And so I'm fairly certain we put it out on Breakdown and got submissions through email. Anyway, it was just so interesting hearing all these people whose voices were identical. It's just it was so incredible.
It's incredible. People who can do impersonations like that.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's amazing.
That's amazing. There's like 4 people I can impersonate.
Yeah. I can
Emma Stone.
Like my 3 family members, basically.
Yeah, exactly. My sister.
Yeah. My mom.
I keep getting told I sound like Reese Witherspoon, though.
You do.
So funny. I'm like,
oh my God, you know what? That's really funny. You totally do.
I should be her.
It's like that cute little chipper voice.
Yeah. I'm like, that's a compliment. Well, they hire.
You should totally do a Reese Witherspoon reel.
I totally need to.
I'm like closing my eyes and I could totally picture her saying what you're saying.
That is, it's so funny. I've gotten that from so many people lately. My friend is Julia Roberts voiceover, doing ADR for movies. And sometimes the celebrity's not available, so she goes in and does Julia's voice. So
that's a really great point. If you have a voice doppelganger, like that could be some work for you.
That exactly. Well, and that's actually, so that brings up a good subject because there is so much work out there that's not just like cartoons or commercials. There's dubbing or like dubbing over a person, a celebrity, or loop groups. Like
let's talk about loop group.
Yes, loop group.
Loop group. That's like the golden egg of jobs, right?
The Holy Grail.
Yeah, I get it. I so get it. So you are gonna say it far more eloquently than I could. So why don't you go ahead and describe what loop group is?
Loop group. Yeah, well, I hope so. No, but loop group is basically a group of people. Okay, so if you're watching a movie or TV show and you see the extras in the background at a restaurant or something, and they're all clearly talking, but and no, we are saying loop group.
Like a loop.
And that's the reason why it's called a loop. Well, first I'll finish saying that. I got distracted by the questions.
Yeah.
So if you see a bunch of people talking in the background at a restaurant, you can't mic all those extras. That would cost a lot of money. Yeah. So what you do is you come in, and besides, you don't really care about what they're saying specifically. You just need to hear something, words. So if you are in a loop group, you go into the studio, the recording studio, and you record all what the background people are saying. So if it's at a restaurant in New York, they like to hire people that can do, you know, like kind of a New York accent, depending on where in New York, or when you show up, you better
It's
know.
so funny because don't even hear it, right?
You don't even hear it. I know. But looping is so like people show up with literally file boxes of like every, like for example, if it's at a restaurant in Brooklyn, they will have a file on Brooklyn and what every restaurant or a street is and what every intersection, and yeah, so that they have something to talk about.
Wow.
I know. Now you don't see that as much because people have their phones and can just quickly Google something.
Right.
But back in the day, and people like that's some people, that's all they do is looping. It's like how some people only do extra work. Yeah.
So really quick, someone said, you know, peas and carrots is what the background actors will say. So yeah, so the background actors can't actually speak because anytime an actor is on screen and speaking, they need to be compensated for that. So they're just, they're sort of miming those words. And then the people filling in the audio in their mouths, so to speak, is the people doing loop group.
That's right.
So interesting. And why is it such the holy grail of jobs? What is it about it?
It pays so much money. Like you're getting
Isn't that
paid,
bonkers?
It's insane. You're getting paid what the on-camera like co-star rate is, and you get residuals. So like I've only looped a couple times. I wish I could get into a loop group. Like I've subbed for a few of my friends, but there's no way they'd give me the, you know, they're like, you're just my sub for the day. But
yeah, but like, it is like from what I've heard, it's like a small group of people, right?
There's like, well, so there's, I think, I don't even know how many, but there's just a handful of loop groups that are run by certain people for years and years and years. These people have ran these groups, and they will hire the actors in them. So if you get in them, you never leave because it's so lucrative. So yeah, the only times I've done it is when one of my friends booked a TV job or something, and they were in a bind and had to get me to cover them. Like you basically have to find your own substitute a lot of the time so that you don't get pushed out of the group, because you want to trust that your substitute will give you that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Inside the loop group info.
I know. And it's fun. The other thing about it is it's so fun. It's basically improv all day.
Yeah.
That's why people come up with very specific things, because if you don't improv well, you will get kicked out.
Really?
Like, yeah. If you're just going and saying carrots and peas or whatever. Then.
So are you speaking with other actors? Are you speaking together? Okay. And you're recording together.
It depends on the scene. But like, if there's one person, I remember I did this movie and there was one girl in the scene that was like, ah, in the background. And so I just did that voice. But like, a lot of the times it's like, you're in a scene at a restaurant. So what they do a lot is you'll be like in a circle and you all come up around the mic, or like partner. There's different methods of doing the mic. But yeah, it is so
interesting.
So I'm still getting paid on that movie that I did like 10 years ago. Like,
that's amazing. And I think it's mostly, at least to my knowledge, whenever we hear about loop group, it's like, that is not us. That goes to post. So sort of like the post people are the ones hiring. They're the ones facilitating, right?
Yeah. And then that post person has a relationship with the loop group leader. So
and what's a loop group leader?
That's the one who hires. Those are like the 5 or 6 people in town that run these loop groups that hire. So they're almost like the casting director of the loop group. Yeah.
Interesting.
But they don't hire new people every time. They just call their people, you know what I mean? Their group.
Right. There's no need. Right. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's like, I actually am I can't really tell you what it is since it's live, but I booked a pilot in the fall that looks like it's getting picked up.
That's amazing.
Which is amazing. And it's the type of show, it's like animation. Well, I'll just say it's animation for now. But I can come back and play multiple characters, which is just like regular animation, you know?
Yeah.
You'll see what I mean when it gets
that's the really awesome part about voiceover work is that's not a factor. I mean, obviously for us, like, you do it once, you never do it again.
That's right.
And you really want like a variety or whatever, but you can,
I know.
it's just, there's so much more you can do.
Right. And once you get into, like, I got into this pilot with these people, they're, you know, basically saying, well, we're going to use you for even though I was just a guest star in the pilot. So like, well, don't worry, you'll be in every episode. I'm like, thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But
that's
also like it's like every good, you know, pro and con. The con of that is why you have the same 20 people booking every animation.
Right.
There is.
Okay. So with that said, some tangible stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for people who are wanting to put together their own reel, or maybe even just having some tools at home. I know there's so much stuff out there.
Yeah.
Do you have equipment at home?
Yes, I have a whole booth. I got that installed, I guess is the word, when my son was born, because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to go into the agency all the time.
Yeah.
And this guy I hired, his name's Dan Leonard, and I could totally, if you DM me, I could send you his info. I mean, people out there, or I could give it to you, Ramani.
Yeah, whichever. Yeah, no, I was just thankful for you for offering that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. He basically converted my closet into, because you can do VO in a regular closet without doing this, but it's so much better if you have soundproofing done.
Yeah.
And he did it so economically. Like, I think it was, I know it was less than 500, because I remember saying, I'll make this back, you know.
Yeah.
Job.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, and that included the mic stand.
So that's sort of what he does. He like sets up a little home booth. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome, and it was in my closet. My closet's very tiny, so
yeah, that's amazing.
But yeah, you did a great job.
Someone just asked for VO reels, what format do you prefer, video or audio?
MP3.
MP3.
Yeah. Also, the other thing about VO booths is you can buy a booth. Like, if you don't have a closet, I remember my old apartment didn't really have a closet that would work. So I was we moved, but at the time I was looking into buying an actual booth that you can just put in your house. And those are obviously more expensive, but it's a good investment.
Yeah.
My friend got one on Craigslist for like $3,000, which sounds like a lot, but for a whole booth.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. But yeah, your situation sounds
a lot more economical.
Better.
I was like, 3,000.
Yeah.
And also, like, where are you going to put a big old booth?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So. Sorry. I have.
Oh, I know. I saw that one.
I'm trying to get one. So I have just been told they aren't top VO people. Agents. They're
agents. Oh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna add to that question. For getting a VO agent, I assume it's similar to getting an on-camera agent in that you just submit your materials, right? So in that case, it would be an MP3 reel, and that's really probably all you need, and maybe a resume.
Yeah, you don't even need a resume as
much.
Unless you've done a ton of stuff.
Okay.
Then you want to write that, or write a bio. I remember when I submitted
a bio. Okay.
Yeah, like to WME, I just wrote like a cover letter with all the stuff I had done.
Okay.
And then my reel.
That makes sense.
The best way to get an agent these days, it's similar to on camera, is through referral, through your friends who aren't like you. Like, don't submit.
Yeah.
Ask your friend with a perky voice.
Yeah, right.
They'll be like, no.
Yeah, you're right.
But my friend who got me at WME, for example, is the voice of Shark Tank. And
no way.
So it's like, could not be more different from me,
Yes. That is really good advice.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, I know. So that's a way to submit to an agent.
Okay. And I also think, and let me know how you feel differently. It says, I've been interested, but they told they aren't top. Are you saying they're not top VO
agents?
I
have a VO client.
I know, I'm reading into this.
I was confused by that. Yeah. Demos out there. Maybe, I think she means agents.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that is a good question. I mean, you could answer this more too, being on independent artists, like kind of how we were talking about before. There are certain agencies that don't get everything. And I know that when I was at Independent Artists and that other agency in between, oh, I just remembered the name of it, but I won't say.
Okay.
But I did not go out nearly as much as I do now with WME. Like they
Interesting.
send me all the time. So it's like, yeah.
That's interesting because from my perspective, generally speaking, the breakdown goes to everybody.
I know. I would think so too. The other thing I thought is maybe WME isn't like, people in the have said they aren't the top 3 in Atlanta. Oh, that's what she meant. Yeah. I mean, I would try to go for the top 3 if you can, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think, you know, having a really great reel, I assume that and if anyone here is a VO casting director, please, you know, shout out. But I assume that just like us, they're listening or watching reels all day long. And if someone's voice is really special, you know, then it doesn't matter who they're submitted by.
Well, that's a good point. Actually, maybe that's why I'm going out more, because I did redo my reels when I went with WME.
That, I mean, from my perspective, your reel is everything.
Yeah.
Everything. You know,
so
I talk about that a lot. Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I have my Miraculous stuff now.
Yeah.
So that's so true. You're right.
Yeah.
I bet you that's why.
Yeah. So someone's asking, like, what should be included in your reel? Are there any token voices, accents?
Yes. Pretty much like you said before, you want to show your entire range, even though you want to stick to things, obviously, that you're really good at and what your marketability is. But, for example, I worked with Debbie Derryberry to do my latest animation reel, and I could tell you who I liked. I also worked with Scott Holst, which both of them did. Scott did my commercial and Debbie did my animation. And I would use both of them for either all over again. They were so good. And Debbie's big thing was like, we want to show you, but in different versions of you. So like I have obviously the Valley Girl Miraculous, and then I have my little child voice. I also happen to do an old lady pretty well.
Ooh.
So I did that. And then I did like, I have a pretty good AI voice. So I did that. And and then I have like a tough, like kind of on a video game, I would be like the young tough girl, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like finding like, my voices are mostly young, but finding different characters in that.
Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah.
Really quick, going back to your home setup, is there anything in your home setup that you're like, you need to have this? Like, you know, I know you said soundproofing.
Yes. But more than soundproofing, because if you're just in your closet with a bunch of clothes, that could work too. A good mic. That is, you have to have a good mic. And also the editing software. So the mic I have is the Apogee mic, which I like. I'm actually looking into getting a new mic because it's pretty old now. And there's where I'm like, I don't like how that sounded, or my ears may be getting a little sensitive too. But so I'll let you know if I'm searching. I got to get on that. But anyway, the Apogee is good though, and I'm sure the latest versions are way better than what I have. So that's a good mic, and it's not expensive. And then
how much is that, if you don't mind?
That's a good question. I think if I remember correctly, it was like 100 something.
Yeah, Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon. I ordered. You know what I should do? I'll send you an email with like all my setup stuff. Yes, because I remember I ordered from this company, not Amazon, that helped me really put everything together. So it was nice. It was like to give. They were more, you know, what's like personal service.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah. But then I plug it into my iPad, which is on my stand, or it's on my stand, and then I have like little iPad stand.
Yeah.
And on the iPad, I have the Twisted Waves software, which is only $19.99 as an app.
Twisted Waves.
Yeah, Wave. Yeah.
Twisted Waves.
It's on the App Store on Apple, but I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive they have a PC version too. So you could plug it into your laptop. I just use the iPad because I set that up in my booth. And then I am very, like, my friend came over to use my booth and she's like, I don't know how you do this. Because I don't like to have any extra paper or anything, but she likes to have her paper.
Oh, yeah, I'm the same way.
Right? I'm like digital. So I set up my iPad, then I press record, then I click back into my script, which is in my email, and do it that way.
Gotcha.
So I don't have another stand for my sides or anything like that.
Okay.
But a lot of people do not do that.
Okay.
But yes, I'm going to send, somebody asked to write down the name of it's
we can post all of this stuff. Yeah. Don't worry. We'll keep you informed.
We'll get it all. Exactly.
Yes.
But so that's what I do. But Twisted Wave is so awesome. It's so intuitive, very easy to use. A lot of people use, I think a lot of people use Adobe still. I don't know if I'm getting that wrong, but Premiere. But
yeah.
I just use, or some people I think use GarageBand.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
But I don't know. Twisted Wave is good. It also gets, I think, the balance really well and the quality really well. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And a split screen. You need a split screen.
That's what I was just going to say. Is that different from a pop screen?
No, same thing, like the little circle screen.
Yes, that's important, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So those are the three main. So we'll post all. Yeah, we'll post all this information later.
Yeah, broke recently, and I'm like, I have to get it. But I was waiting because I was going to see what mic I was in. But
I've heard. I was going to ask you about the Rogue because that's kind of like, from our perspective. I mean, we actually use a lot of lavalier mics for casting. Yeah. Obviously, not something for VO work, but we've also used Rogue mics, and I think. I was going to ask you, do you think if someone was going to be very cost effective about this, say they're setting up like a self-tape studio at home anyway.
Oh, yeah. And
so they're buying a mic anyway, buying a Rogue, like omnidirectional mic, would that work for both? Or do you think it's better to have?
Oh, good question. I think, I don't know. Dan would know that. Dan Leonard.
Yeah. Okay.
I bet you, I would say no, I think. I don't know for sure. Yeah. But I think they're a little bit different.
Yeah.
I also have a whole like setup for my self-tape studio, by the way.
You are just a one-man band.
It's like, you kind of have
perfect for quarantine.
Well, exactly. I have it all here. Well, and like being a stay-at-home mom is basically quarantine.
Yeah. So. This is where I do my on-camera work. This is where Mommy does her voiceover work.
Exactly.
And you have your whole treadmill set up too, right?
I do.
Got your home gym. You were prepared for this.
I was prepared. Exactly. I know. When people were like, "Oh, we have to stay home," I'm like, "This is just my daily life.
Just another day." Yeah.
This is just Tuesday. Oops, my bad. Plug you in. But yeah, I could send you all that too because I recently got all that set up when I became a mom. So yeah.
Yeah. Self-sufficient.
Yes, exactly.
A great goal to have.
Yes. Exactly. Sorry, plugged you in here.
No, all good. Oopsie, should have heard a VO demo.
Okay.
Speakermeister. Awesome.
Okay, there we go.
A friend said females should avoid alcohol on demos.
Oh, really?
By the way, of course, perfect timing. The garbage truck is like right outside my window right now.
Oh, really? So I can't even hear it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's funny.
I know.
That's my son's favorite. Garbage.
I know. Same with my daughters.
Oh my gosh. So funny. But no, I've never heard that about alcohol. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't think I have one on my spot on my reel.
Yeah.
But, that's funny. Weird.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Maybe.
Well, debunked.
I mean, I would ask the casting director, but I think it's really more about like your voice and just how you sound and making sure you have different sounds in there. You don't want the whole reel to sound the same.
Right.
Sure, but yeah.
Right.
Funny.
Any other sort of like, before you record, what are some, do you have any, like, I'm not gonna eat an hour before, or
Sure.
I mean, ideally.
Yeah, maybe if I'm singing's like a total, because a lot of animation auditions will have you sing because they have, it's a musical show or whatever. But so sometimes if I'm singing, somebody said, do you do?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yes, I do consulting and I do coaching, like for auditions or reels.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I can link my email.
Yeah. For sure.
But,
someone else asked, if I don't have a voiceover reel, can I extract my voice from commercials to start my reel?
Yes, the commercials you've already done. Yes, you can do that. Sometimes people, for some reason, I've heard not to, I don't know, like you hear so many different things. It's hard to say, but people have said
I would say, why not?
I know.
It's your work. It's your voice.
Exactly.
I mean, you do whatever you want.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that is a great, oh, I know why I've heard not to. Okay. If you've only done, let's say you've done 3 or 4 commercials and they're all the same, like that's why you wouldn't. So you would use one of them and then create a reel with others.
Right.
Yeah. So similar to like, I wouldn't put a reel together with all Chloe, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you want to do other stuff. So
if we have, similar to the alcohol question, if we do have done we're such moms. We're like, what does that mean?
What do you mean? Child voices?
Right.
I wouldn't do anything too vulgar or risque. I think, that could turn people off.
Yeah. You want to, I think if
PG.
I think that you're not going to come across a need for that very often. So.
Right. Yeah. I think that wouldn't be. The other thing, what were we talking about with reels? No, wait. Shoot, I forgot. Oh, well.
I'm going to just say really quick, do you slate your name for that's obviously a really good thing, because for an on-camera reel, your name is obviously the first thing you see, so you probably want to slate your name, right?
On a voiceover reel, no, not on the reel. Don't slate at all. But,
interesting.
But for auditions, yes, you slate before every audition. You just say Selah Victor. You don't do Selah Victor as.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do that still, but I've never done that, and my agents have always said don't do that. So
okay, so no slating in reels.
Not in your reels, but
not in your reels. Can you discuss slating in auditions? I assume it's just your name, right?
Yeah, just your name. Mm-hmm. Just your name. Yeah. What should I include this? Oh, that's great. If you can do different languages, definitely put that on your reel. For sure.
Yeah. I would probably suggest making that a separate clip, right?
Oh yeah, you could do
like
that.
Have a language clip.
I would even put that in your reel though.
Really?
Because there's such a need. I see breakdowns even on regular breakdowns.
Yeah.
Or like, different shows. Yeah. So I would put it, I don't think that you need to necessarily communicate it's Vietnamese in the reel, just like in your cover letter. Right. Or your agents would, if they were pitching you for that, they would be like, this is a Vietnamese.
Right. Here's her
real.
Vietnamese. Yeah. But definitely if you speak other languages, get some of that on, record some of that.
Yes.
Really valuable.
Like you said, even if it's a separate clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have it down.
Yeah.
Just like singing. So that is similar to singing. I sing a little bit in my animation reel, but then very, very short. And then I have a totally separate singing reel. So that they could see my range in singing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and singing is definitely important too if you do that. Or accents. I forgot about that.
Accents.
I do British accent on my reel. I think, now I can't remember. I think that's all I probably do on my reel because that's my strongest. But
I will say, oh man, I lost my train of thought because I was reading questions.
Oh, I know. I keep doing that too. Reel or accents or singing.
I forgot.
Language.
That's why I have such an issue. If I don't say something on my mind in the moment, I don't know if it's a mom thing or what. It's just completely vanished.
I can't remember anything anymore.
It's awful.
Right.
But this is a really good point. Just real quick. Someone said, do you have someone read the opposite lines in VO?
No. Yeah. You just read your lines. Mm-hmm. Obviously, in your head, you read the other lines because you want to react to those lines as an actor, but you don't record them. And then when you edit them, like this is what I was going to say earlier. So when you said, is there anything to do to prepare? A lot of time, like for theatrical, oh my gosh, I will prepare up the wazoo, right? Like,
right, of course.
You're like breaking down the scene.
Yeah.
Figuring everything out.
Yeah.
For VO, it is 9 times out of 10 off the cuff. You can prepare and sit down with it and break it down and all that.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But even when you're showing up for the job, like I just did this big, I was like, can I talk about it? Yes. This video game job. And I showed up and I had no idea what I was going in for. I had no idea what I booked.
Yeah.
They just said it was a video game. It turned out it was Final Fantasy. And I showed up and there's like 28 different characters. I'm getting the script for the first time. Voiceover is very much off the cuff and you're just, it's like improv.
Right.
But, and there's so many auditions that come in that, I mean, I don't have the time to prepare all of them. Maybe that's why I book as much.
Right. Yeah. Well, but it is a lot of improv. That's a good point.
It's a lot of improv and just knowing how to change your voice in the moment. And if you're recording from home, you could do thousands of takes anyway. So you're rehearsing, but it's not like it's not the same as theatrical. And so anyway, to prepare as far as that's concerned, once in a while, I will coach with someone if it's something that's very important to me. I mean, they're all important, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like for example, I was up for, I don't even know what it was, but it was the next big Disney princess. I wanted it so bad.
Oh my God, of course.
And so of course, like I'm coaching, I'm meeting, you know, as much as I can, but I'm sure it went to a celebrity anyway. But anyway, all that to say, I worked my butt off for that one.
Wow.
But you can't do that for everyone. It's everyone. It's
you just need to get it out there. Yeah.
So anyway, that's with that. And then that had to do with what you were saying. What was question was that? Now I'm like going back.
I know.
I don't know what we were talking about.
Oh,
reading opposite lines.
Yeah,
that's what that had to do with. So when you record it and you're like looking at those lines and reacting to it, then when you edit your audition, obviously get rid of all that space.
Might be a good time too if you're kind of like, what else can I work on we'll post all of these links to things and also learn these software programs. I mean, honestly, my go-to these days is I go into YouTube and I say, how do you?
Totally.
You know?
YouTube is the best.
It's the best.
We joked about my rap video that I just posted.
Yeah.
By the way, like even stuff like that is all voiceover. I did that all in my booth. I recorded the rap.
That's amazing. It's honestly pretty impressive.
Thank you. Well, I taught myself. That's not my first editing project on the camera, but my editing skills got so much better because of YouTube.
Seriously, I mean, not to go off topic, but I remember reading an article about a woman who learned to build a house for her family based off of YouTube tutorials. YouTube is everything, like someone just said. So download these programs. Again, I'll link everything after this. And if you're like, well, I don't have to, just take the time. Now's the time to do all of these things. So
it's the perfect time. I mean, normally I would not have had time to record a whole
video. Oh yeah. I know, but why not? I'm doing things I never thought I would do.
I know.
Never have the time to, at least. It's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice to not have like all the obligations. But that's the positive side.
Thank you so much. Instagram kicks us off after an hour, so I want to make sure
really?
that. Yes, I know. I learned that the hard way.
That's funny, or not funny, but good to know.
Good to know. Good to know. But this was like a wealth of knowledge. Seriously, I feel like it was a really good, just 101 breakdown and give something, a tangible thing for people to do right now. So this was awesome.
Good. I'm so happy to help in any way. If you DM me, I check all my boxes or, mailboxes. So just reach out to me and I'll give you my email address that people can email me.
Perfect. Yes. And really quick, I just want to say, when people end the live, there is a surprise on the Casting Director's Cut feed right now.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
I want to see.
So when we're done, check that out. Exciting stuff.
That's exciting.
Thank you. Love to Ezra.
Oh,
you safe and healthy.
And your little ones.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ramani, for setting this up.
Of course.
This whole your whole page is so
good. Helpful. I'm glad. Yeah, it's been good times in a dark period.
And I want to hire you guys to do my theatrical reel
you should check out our surprise post.
Oh, I'm so excited.
All right.
Okay, good.
I will talk to you later.
Yay, talk to you later. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Bye.